Well, come on in, everybody, and sit down until we stand up again. We're going to do a little thank you for this day, written by Karen Drucker and sung by all of us. So could I get you to stand, please? Come on, let's do it. Let's let those voices ring on this Father's Day.
Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Thank you for my friends, Spirit, thank you for my friends. Thank you for my friends, Spirit, thank you for my friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. This beautiful, this beautiful, this beautiful day. This beautiful, this beautiful, this beautiful day. Everybody say thank you.
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 'Cause I'm so grateful.
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 Everybody say thank you. 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 That was awesome, Greg. Thank you.
That was fun. So, you know, when Michelle isn't here, I get to get up and make a fool of myself. I love those days. Oh, welcome to Unity of Pasadena, you guys. This is really great. You guys are all spread out here, so you're keeping the weight even. You know, the building's not going to tip too much this way, not going to tip too much that way. We're right on keel. So I'm Reverend Greg Dorst, and if I haven't met you before, it is a pleasure to be in your presence. I see some new faces here, and we are so grateful for that. Pasadena. Unity. Do you know that today's topic is the illusion of powerlessness? That was not an illusion right there. You know, it's real, but we have choices. We can check to see what the power problem is, and we just did that. So, all right, you guys. So, Unity of Pasadena. I was just about ready to extol the virtues of Unity of Pasadena. What a magnificent and wonderful space this is. You know, this is a space where we recognize each other as brothers, sisters, one in spirit and one in fact, one in truth. We recognize that there's really only one thing operating through us, as us, for us. And I have a saying that just hammers that home, and you guys know it quite well, so if you join me in this, there's only one thing. It may look like more than one thing. It may feel like more than one thing, but it's only one thing. Expressing as you, expressing as me, and everything we see.
Everything we see.
Yeah, that's a statement of unity for sure. Look at this. I can find myself getting all tangled up in everything here. Pretty soon I'll be rearranging the pews, so you guys you might have to get up and all that, so. Yeah, we also have a blessing, the unity blessing that I'd like you to join me in, please. We love you. We bless you. We appreciate you just the way you are and who and what you are becoming. I'm going to ask you, Larry, if you will please, to go back on that back table and pick up that basket that has all the questions in it. And then I'm going to ask Larry to pick one here in just a moment as well, because yeah, why don't you just pick one out of there, Larry, and I'm gonna do that as soon as I finish with the prayer. So, oh, this one. Oh, yeah. So Larry's like me, you know, the attention gets him. So, thank you very much, Larry. I appreciate that. So, we're going to start off with a prayer before we get into the 3-minute question. Oh, no, we're not. We're going to do the statement of faith. Thank you. Statement of faith, please. PowerPoint sets me straight. What we're gonna do is we're gonna reboot. Are you ready? Deep breath. See, in the computer age, we know what that means. You know, we're gonna reboot the machine. So here we go, you guys. Join me in the statement of faith. There is only one presence and one power active in my life and in the universe. God the good omnipotence. And I am one with that presence and power. Yes, let's just feel that oneness. Let's just slip into that space where we feel comfortable, taking a nice deep breath and releasing that breath. So know with me, please, that God is present right here, right now, in this very space, right here in the sanctuary of unity of Pasadena, in and around and through you and me and all that we see. We recognize and know that there really is only one thing happening here, and we are an aspect, an experience of that one thing, expressing as beauty, peace, love, power, light, love. All of those qualities of God in us, expressing through us. And we call to our attention love right now, the presence of love within us. And we feel it. We just allow ourselves to feel it. Maybe you have to call to attention somebody that you love deeply, or maybe a pet, maybe a place that you like to go, maybe a song that you like to hear or sing. Just feel that right now and feel the love that you have for it. That's the presence of God in you, as you. We're so grateful that we understand and know this here at Unity of Pasadena, such that we have a board of trustees that steps in and does the things that are necessary to make meetings like this possible. To have just beautiful community activities all through the week. To be able to have a feeling of love in this day and age, in this now moment, is absolutely unbelievably magnificent, and to carry with us that feeling into the community after is just as good. And so we're thankful as well for our musician today. Mitch brings that spiritual bent to life, and the sounds we hear are absolutely magnificent and beautiful. We're so thankful for our prayer chaplains. We have prayer chaplains here who hold the light for each and every one of us. We have volunteers who do things like bring the food and the PowerPoint and the live streaming and the sound. We have people that greet you at the door, and then there's each and every one of you that bring a consciousness of love to this very space. We are so grateful. And in this gratitude, I know that the goodness that we are about to receive is already done. It's already within us. We just are allowing it to wake up. And so with that, I release this into the law of mind, knowing that it's done. Please join me by saying, and so it is. Amen. Whew. Well, I needed that prayer. I don't know about you guys. By the way, we had some people come in during the prayer, which I absolutely love. It's my knowing that as soon as I close my eyes and pray, more people come in, and that always happens. So I get to say Happy Father's Day to all of the fathers out there, to all of the mothers out there who acted as fathers, to anybody who has ever fathered something. And to your alignment with what some of our sacred texts call Father, which is really the great love, that great feeling, that great presence, and we are that. So each of us has an aspect of it within us. So here we got this Larry chosen question. Let's see if I can read it without glasses. It's tight. Isn't that nice? This means somebody thought about the question too, which is really great. And whoever did this, I appreciate that. When we talk about co-creation, it seems the emphasis is always on the part we play in our own experience. But the co in co-creation also implies a force beyond our own will and our own desire. Does creation itself have will and desire? What an interesting question. So I'm going to start with one of the most sacrilegious things I've ever heard, which makes as much sense as anything I've ever heard too. So God doesn't know what to do until you decide. That's really an interesting statement, isn't it? God doesn't know what to do until you decide. There must be, according to that statement, an impetus of some sort. As we put it, a building of the mold for what the co-creator God will fill up for us. See, so the idea comes through us. It comes through our thought process, our minds. It comes through our feelings. It comes through our ability to imagine what it looks like and what it feels like, and the mold is built through that. And so when that mold is built, we do something that we call release. Have you ever heard that in a prayer? I release it. I release it to, that power which creates all things. That's what we're doing. We're releasing our hand in it. We're no longer fiddling with those little items that we use to build the mold. The mold is already set, and now it's up to us to allow God to fill it. And when I say allow God to fill it, I can point to something that I think is really, really interesting. Now, I have people who have come to me for prayer around certain things. And they want to get to receive an experience which is contrary to what it is that they do every day. And so what that means is that they want to be able to turn right, but they're always turning left. So I want this, but I always do this, which is absolutely the antithesis of a co-creative activity. See? So if you want something, you have to act as if you do. And you act as if you do by thinking and feeling as if you have it. This is why Jesus said, act as if it's already yours and it shall be. Pray as if you already have it and it shall be given unto you. And so we have to cooperate in this activity. We can't just want something that we're not willing to step into. We have to be that which builds the mold. And I'm going back to the mold analogy because stepping out of alignment with what it is that you want sort of messes up the mold, if you will, if you understand what I'm talking about. So this co-creative thing, God doesn't know what to do until you decide. Makes you the leading edge. So be careful. You are the leading edge. How do you want to feel about yourself? That's the way it will be. How do you want to feel about the world and life? Set that edge in a positive frame, and you shall receive. So thanks for the question, and thanks for the, if this isn't proof that making it shiny and bright and cool isn't going to help somebody pick it, I don't know what is. Thank you. So there you go. How'd I do?
You did great.
Okay. So timing-wise, you know how long I went? Not bad. Not bad. Sorry to waste 36 of your seconds, because but it was a joy. So we have a song today, don't we, Mitch?
Yeah, we do.
Well, let's do that before we do our meditation and our daily word.
You were just talking about receiving it, and the song we're doing today for meditation is Receive the Power. Every nation, every tribe comes together to worship you. In your presence we delight. We will follow to the ends of the earth. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Receive the power and you'll feel the Spirit. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Receive the power. Be a light unto the world. As your Spirit calls to rise, we will answer to do as you will. We forever testify of your mercy and unfailing love. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Receive the power and you'll feel the Spirit. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Receive the power to be a light unto the world. Lord, oh God, we worship you. We are holy and worship you. Bread of life, we worship you. We are spirit and we will sing forever. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Receive the power and you'll feel the Spirit. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Receive the power to be a light unto the world. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mitch. Thank you. Good morning. Okay, today is Sunday, July 21st. And the word is June. All right, cut that. I'm following you. Dang. Okay, start over. Zzz. Hi, I'm Gray Dorst, and this is June 21, 2026. Blessing for fathers. I celebrate fatherhood and bless all fathers today. Today I bless my father and give thanks for the part he played in my life. I also bless those who showed me fatherly love, who taught and guided me, who led me by example by demonstrating the divine attributes of strength and wisdom. I love and support I receive from all the father figures of my life help me become the person I am today. I am grateful for these special ones who saw my potential and encouraged me to reach high and pursue my dreams. I am also thankful to them for the encouragement they provided during times of disappointment and discouragement. I bless the world's fathers and pray they know the support and guidance they have so lovingly shared with me. The righteous walk in integrity. Happy are the children who follow them. Proverbs chapter 20, verse 7. And now we'll go into a meditation for today. And this is a little different. This is actually a meditation. It's called the Core Meditation, Unmasking Your Agency. It's about powerlessness and your respond, what you do. But it's a 10-minute meditation. So I'm going to move through it a little bit and for about 5 minutes, and then we'll have 2 minutes of silence. Meditating on the illusion of powerlessness shifts your mindset from helplessness to agency by recognizing that while you cannot control external events, you always have the power over your own reaction, choices, and boundaries. In other words, we can't control our thoughts. Okay. So one, center your body, close your eyes, and take 3 deep breaths. And let it out slow. Again. Again, and notice where you are physically holding any tension. Now, identify a trigger. Bring to mind a situation in which you feel helpless. Acknowledge the emotional weight of it without trying to fix or outthink it in this exact moment. Next, separate what you can't control. Visualize a physical box. Mentally place everything you cannot control into that box. The actions of others, outcomes, past events. Give yourself permission to let them go, as holding on to them drains your life force. Now identify what you can control. Next, focus on what remains in your sphere of influence. This includes your breath, your boundaries, your attitude, your next immediate action. And now, you can use an affirmation to reclaim your power. An affirmation that you may decide on yourself when you're meditating, or something like this. I cannot control everything, but I can control how I respond. Now for 2 minutes. Now slowly come back to this room. There's a prayer I use, and maybe some of you are familiar with it. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Do we have the prayer of St. Francis? Or should we stop now? Oh, great. Okay. Let the light of understanding shine, guiding us to recognize the sacred thread of oneness that unites every soul in this shared tapestry of existence. May compassion be our rule, kindness our currency, love our universal prayer. Let the winds of peace cross the globe, embracing nations, fostering harmony, and dissolving barriers that separate us. As one human family, we cultivate a world understanding threads and the echoes of unity resonating together.
In continuing the theme of Father's Day today, I'd like to sing a song to dedicate to my father and all of the fathers that are here and all of our fathers who loved us, supported us, often would self-sacrifice and put our interests before theirs. And this song usually isn't sung by a man, but I thought it kind of says everything that I feel about my dad, and I hope you enjoy it. It must have been cold there in my shadow to never have sunlight on your face. You were content to let me shine. That's your way. You always walked a step behind. So I was the one with all the glory, while you were the one with all the strength. A beautiful face without a name for so long. A beautiful smile to hide the pain. Did you ever know that you're my hero? And everything I would like to be. I can fly higher than an eagle, 'cause you are the wind beneath my wings. It might have appeared to go unnoticed, but I've got it all here in my heart. I want you to know I know the truth. Of course I know I would be nothing without you. Did you ever know that you're my hero? And everything I would like to be. I can fly higher than an eagle, 'cause you are the wind beneath my wings. Did you ever know that you're my hero? You're everything, everything I'd like to be. And I can fly higher than an eagle, 'cause you are the wind beneath my wings. Thank God for you, the wind beneath my wings. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Your father must have been amazing.
He was. Yeah.
I mean, and it sounds like a great example to you, a mentor in many ways, and because if he was anything close to you, I can celebrate him with you, because you're an amazing man, Mitch. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for the meditation, Bill. I think that this idea of powerlessness is something that we often feel without really digging into what it's all about. We think that there's no way out of this way of thinking, or there's no way out of my addiction, or there's no way out of my circumstances because society or my job or my family or whatever it might be demands that I do X, Y, and Z. And so I'm powerless to change that. I mean, it's easy to feel that way. It's truly easy to feel that way, that you don't have the power to change. But this talk is really about the power to change. And it might just be that you change the way you see the circumstances. Now, I love that, placing in the pot all of the things that you can't control, kind of moving them out of the way so you don't try to beat your head against the wall, But we can also change the way we see those things. We truly can. We can change the way we see those things that we can't control. We recognize that there is nothing we can do about that except use the variable in the equation, which is us. Because the truth is, life doesn't happen to us, it happens through us. It's more about how we respond than what happens to us. And so I can use little tools to kind of shape the way I feel about what it is that I can't change. Let me give you the one thing that comes to mind when I say that. You probably recall the story that Jesus relayed in parable form, which really had a lot to do with the truth of what was happening in the day. The Romans required that if you were asked by a Roman to carry their pack, that by law you had to carry it for a mile. I mean, essentially you were powerless to refuse that. I mean, they had the power over you. They had the ability to physically force you to do that if necessary. They had the power of the law behind them. And if they said, carry my pack for a mile, they meant it. So Jesus said, well, if they ask you to carry it 1 mile, carry it 2. And you know why he said that? Because now you're at choice, you see. After that mile, you're at choice. And when you're at choice, you're no longer powerless. So what he loved about that idea is that, this second mile, yeah, it may be hard, but I'm making the choice to do it. And I really like this kind of in-your-face move. Really it is. It's like, I'll show you who's in control. I will show you who's in control of this. Now, you absolutely are powerless over that mile, but how you handle the situation from there is up to you. I have a real life circumstance, and because it's Father's Day, I'll tell this one. I had a wonderful father too, Mitch. My father was quiet and capable, and there's nothing he couldn't fix. He did not like to throw things away. He was a depression child, you know, and so whether it could be fixed or not, he would try. And if it needed a new part, he would make the part. If it needed, you know, kind of like an engineer's eye, he'd decide maybe how to design it better, and he'd fashion a metal part for it or some other part for it. And I remember I couldn't afford a set of golf clubs, and he made me a set of golf clubs. Yeah. Interesting. I mean, he had the ability to do that. He could do anything, but he was really, really quiet. The one thing he was sort of limited at was expressing his emotions. But I had a best friend in the neighborhood, and I spent a lot of time with him. A lot of you probably had the same circumstance. And he lived in a household with a father who was a little bit different than my father. In fact, when I was there, I often heard the command, "Do this," said to his son. The father's name was Dalton, and the son's name, my best friend, was Doug. We're just both D's. And when Dalton would tell Doug to do something, there was no choice. He had to do it. But he would always say, "Why?" Doug would always say, "Why?" Well, if Dalton said to him, "Go to your room," he'd say, "Why?" And you know what Dalton's answer always was? "Because I said so." That was always the answer. You remember that? That was the answer to everything back in the day, you know? "Because I said so." And then Doug would storm off to his room, and he'd cry the whole time he was in the room. I mean, just a horrible scene, you know? But he obviously didn't know the Jesus story, because had he known this Jesus story about carrying the pack, he would have said to his father, he would have said, "Well, do you mind if I clean my room while I'm in there?" Can you imagine that? Can you imagine? I mean, now it doesn't look like punishment, you know? It looks like, wow, what an opportunity, you know? Agency. That just means that you have a choice. You have the choice to do this. It's your choice. And agency is a good thing. Agency really is a good thing. And the question becomes, do we always have agency? And the answer is, well, almost always we have agency, except for taxes and death, you see. But we can sort of put that death thing off if we eat right and we do all the things we're supposed to do. You know, we all try and do that. I know we do. And then we can not look at death as, you know, something that dies. We can look at it as a transition and actually as life itself. You know, I mean, we're moving on to the next phase. Here it goes. You know, we tell the story of a baby being born, doesn't really want to leave the warmth of the, you know, the sac, the fluid sac, but when it's born, poof, you know, something even better, you know. But how could we know? How could we know? I love that story. Just love it. So, yeah, we have the ability to choose, which, as I said, is the variable in that powerlessness thing. As soon as you recognize that you have a choice, not only in what you do, but how you see that thing that you're doing, you have regained the power. You have, as soon as you realize you have a choice, you've regained that power. I was watching a documentary the other day, and it was a really great documentary. And I'm of a certain age, and there are some people in here who are too. But it was a documentary that maybe you'll know a little bit about because of your age. Anybody here know of the band Earth, Wind, and Fire? Yeah! All right. So, well, maybe you know the song. We might want to sing one here. Okay. So I was watching the documentary on Earth, Wind, and Fire, and I just loved it. I absolutely loved it. It really keyed on the main figure of Earth, Wind, and Fire, the one who brought it together, the genius behind the music, behind the lyrics, behind the beat, behind the funkiness, behind the change in music culture that they brought about. Because this band started in the 60s, in the mid 60s, and Maurice White was the musician that decided to start this band. And he started off as a drummer. And that's because that's the only thing he could do. He drummed on everything because life was hard for him. He was born in 1941, a young black man all his life until he reached adult age, and then he really felt the push of powerlessness, in the late 50s, early 60s. It was really an interesting, unique, and dangerous time in his life. I wish I could say it was unique. I'm sorry, maybe it's not so unique. Maybe all of that kind of stuff is still happening and fomenting, and some of it's been under the surface. But this is a story of Maurice White in his desire to do something completely different. He wanted to start a group that had so much innovation in it that people would be attracted to his music in a brand new way. Only he didn't want to just do it for black people only. He wanted to make sure that he had everybody in that audience. I mean, he wanted to see black people, white people, brown people, yellow people. He wanted to see a full panoply of people enjoying the music in that audience. Only it seemed like that was going to be beyond his reach, beyond his power, because back then the only black groups were really doo-wop groups, where you had 4 or 5 guys singing together. All the songs sort of sounded the same, and they had the suits and ties on, and they stood at the microphones. They did a little bit of dancing. And they had, of course, a lot of people that were solo acts and solo artists, but he was thinking in a larger way. He was thinking in a much larger way. He was thinking about making sounds that everybody could be attracted to, the types of rhythms, the types of beats, the types of melodies that would really inspire people. And he started to try and figure out how he could do this, because it seemed like it could never get done. So he started reading books about metaphysics. And he started to understand from those books that he read that if he envisioned these things, if he envisioned being a person who was producing the music and performing that music in places where there were people of all colors, all shapes and sizes in the audience, that according to these metaphysical books, that he'd have a better chance of it happening. And so he envisioned it. And he not only understood the metaphysical principles of, from thought to form, because this is the way the creative process works. We can think about it, we can, envision it, we can feel it, but what it feels like to actually have it, that's all metaphysical creation processes. But he was also interested in the spirituality of music, what it was that people were feeling when they heard these things. And so he studied certain beats, and he studied not only African rhythms, so people would feel it in their DNA, but he studied world beats. He studied world percussion, so that not only would African Americans feel it, or anybody who had that experience feel it in their bones, in their DNA, but so would other people who had a different cultural experience. I mean, he was attracting people in a new spiritual way. What does it mean at depth? So he put together about 10 people that just started jamming. I mean, they just started jamming, and the sounds they were making were great, but they really weren't getting places. So he started to take these people that he had selected to work on this project called Earth, Wind, and Fire. And the reason why he called it Earth, Wind, and Fire was because he wanted to bring about the spiritual aspect of, our planet, the earth, the air, the water, the fire. And he thought Earth, Wind, and Fire. He was going to name it Earth, Air, and Fire, but it didn't have that oomph, So he called it Earth, Wind, and Fire. And it was because of this spiritual idea that he wanted it to encompass the whole earth. So these 10 people were doing pretty well. They were attracting crowds at some of their places, but he knew it wasn't going to go anywhere because they were all his same age. And by then he was about 35 years old, and he thought he needed some younger people. So he brought in 19, 20-year-olds, 21-year-olds, and he wanted to get brand new, innovative beats. He wanted to move this band in a completely innovative way, and he started to do that with these people. He started to sing himself, and he didn't realize that he was that kind of a musician until he started to sing. And then he started putting harmonies together, and he became an incredible musician, building these harmonies. And the harmonies he couldn't build himself, he would bring people in to help, experts in to help. Whatever he needed, he brought experts in to help him through this stuff. I mean, you need mentors. You need people to teach you to do things that you don't know how to do. And so he started to play. And he started to write songs. And he wrote songs like this. These are his visions. Every thought is a dream, rushing by in a stream, bringing life to the kingdom of doing. Take a ride in the sky on our ship, fantasize. All your dreams will come true miles away. You probably recognize that song, don't you? Every thought is a dream, rushing by like a stream, bringing life to the kingdom of doing. Not that you should do it, but you can recognize that song. I'm sure some of you recognize that song. Take a ride in the sky, on our ship, fantasize. All your dreams will come true miles away. And then it goes into, our voices will ring together until the 12th of never. We all will live love forever as one. I mean, these were themes that were being written through all of his songs, and they were being played by people who understood what he meant. And then he had the chance of a lifetime. He was asked, the entire group was asked to be part of Cal Jam 1. Anybody remember that? It was 1974, and it was at the Ontario Motor Speedway, and I was there. I was there. And the only way I could get there, actually get inside, was to take a look at what was going on. And what was happening was it was complete chaos. I mean, there were hundreds of thousands of people. And if you were alive then, you know that the freeways were just absolutely clogged and people were leaving their cars on the freeways. I mean, it was a mess. It was a mess. And so they were that bad about getting things organized, even at the speedway. So I just walked around to the other side of the speedway, and I saw that they had holes in the fences and all sorts of other things, and they had places where people were making deliveries, and they weren't checking IDs and stuff. So here I go. I'm with the group. I'm part of the ground crew. Whoop, right on in, and there I am, Cal Jam 1. I was 19 years old that year in Cal Jam 1. And Earth, Wind, and Fire was playing. Earth, Wind, and Fire was the only black band on the bill. And if you know anything about that concert, it had really amazing artists. I mean, the headliner was Emerson, Lake and Palmer. They did some really interesting things. They were a different kind of band, but Earth, Wind, and Fire got an opportunity to show itself to a mostly white crowd. And that mostly white crowd went crazy because they were not only a band that was, show women and men, they had women and men. They were show women up there doing their thing in a really magnificent way with awesome costumes, but their music was incredible. And it had to do with oneness. It was all about oneness. Well, what do you think about the idea that if you build a mold, I mean, we had this in the question, that 3-minute question. If you build a mold and you allow it to be filled up, it's going to be filled up, isn't it? I mean, he was doing everything possible to fill it up. It wasn't long before those audiences were absolutely what he wanted to see. Black, white, brown, yellow, red, you name the color, you name the size, you name the shape, you name the age, and there Earth, Wind, and Fire was playing something that most of those people had just didn't know they had a craving for, but did. I mean, anybody looking at that situation would have said to Maurice, "You're nuts, man. You'll never make this happen. You're never going to make it happen. Just do a doo-wop group, get 4 other guys and just doo-wop away. Most all people in that circumstance felt powerlessness, but Maurice White didn't. He did not feel powerless over it. He created it. He made it happen. This documentary on Earth, Wind, and Fire is one of the greater documentaries. And I like to reframe things. See, I love the music, but for me, what it was a metaphysical documentary about how it is you make things come about in your life, how it is you bring things to fruition, whatever it is. I mean, if you're not a music lover, hey, bring it to writing. If you're not a writing lover, hey, bring it to sports. Whatever you want to have show up in your life, this is the way. This is the metaphysical way of doing it. Earth, Wind, and Fire. Can you believe it? What an example. What a beautiful example. So it inspired me to write some things, and what I do when I write, Maurice White was not powerless. He saw a choice when others did not. See, if he didn't see that he had a choice, how he could move in this particular way, he might have thrown those ideas in the basket of things I can't control. But he felt that he could control it. He had a way of looking at things. Maurice White reframed things like I like to reframe things. I love to reframe things. If Doug were here right now, my friend whose father was Dalton, I would have an opportunity to talk to him and say, your dad was doing the best he could at the time. All he was doing was what he learned from his dad. And in that way, perhaps we could reframe this. I mean, he can't change the past, but maybe he can change the way he feels about that father experience today and not have to take that pain and suffering with him. Because some people out here had fathers that we don't brag about. And that's the truth. I love reframing, and you guys know it. I mean, what did you get from me? For those of you who've never been here before, this is in a frame, because I like to reframe. I like to see it from a different side. And thank you for this, Barbara. Thank you for that. We don't get caught up in the powerlessness. We have choices. We're not too old. We can still learn things. We can still have a vibrant life. We can cultivate relationships. Even now, we can do that. And I got a mentor who's Barbara, who, she is the most vibrant person on our board of trustees. And she has a lot of experience in life. She's 10 years older than me. And she is living proof that you just step into it. And if that's your choice, it'll happen. So, powerlessness, what an illusion. Don't get caught up in that illusion. It's something that might be forced on you, or at least you think it's being forced on you. But you have a choice. Always look to that idea, choice. The first thing, analyze it. Is there a choice? Can I make a choice in the way I look at it, in the way I feel about it, or in what I do? So thank you guys for being here. It's really a pleasure to be able to speak with you about something that's so important to me. So you guys want to hear a couple of minute meditation? I prepared one for this that'll pound this in a little bit. You want to do that? Let's do that, okay? Let's do that. I love meditations. And the reason why I do them, you guys, is because I like to, when I write these things, something happens. And what happens is I begin to see how these topics, like the illusion of powerlessness, is something that shows up in my life all the time. And when I do a meditation around that, I understand at greater depth what I can do to regain my agency, my power of choice in every situation. So please just settle in now. Let your body become still and allow the breath to remind you that you are here, you're safe, you're whole, you're perfect, you're complete. There's nothing to force in this moment, nothing to prove. Just this sacred opportunity to return to yourself. Take a deep breath. Returning to self. What you call power is not something outside of you. It's not granted by circumstance, by other people, or by the past. It's an inner presence already complete, waiting for your recognition. Change is the great invitation. It is life asking you to grow beyond what has kept you small. It's not here to punish you, it's here to awaken you. Great reframe. Now quietly ask yourself, what in me is ready to be healed? What am I being called to release? Do not answer with the thinking mind alone. Let the deeper wisdom within you speak in its own time and in its own way. I'm willing to see myself differently. Say with me, I'm willing to see myself differently. Say, I am willing to trust the unfolding of my life. I am willing to trust the unfolding of my life. I can change because I have the power to do so. Say with me, I can change because I have the power to do so. Feel how these words do not demand effort. They invite alignment. Real power is never harsh. It's calm. It's ready. It is the quiet strength that comes when you stop resisting what your soul already knows. Take one more deep breath. And know this. Every time you choose honestly, every time you choose peace, every time you choose to move in the direction of your deepest values, you are reclaiming your power. Rest in that for a moment. You're not becoming someone new. You're remembering who you have always been. When you're ready, open your eyes and carry this with you into your day. All right, you guys. How cool is it to be here together on a day like today? Awesome. Namaste. Thank you, Mitch. All right, so who do we have? We have Norma. Norma is our usheress today, and she is an experienced ushette with great ushing experience. Don't you love words? You can make them up when you want. You know, I can make up a word. We can do whatever we want to do. It's Sunday. Yeah, and we have people who've been watching by live stream, you guys, so I want to bring them into the mix here because everything we've said has been to you as well. All our prayers are for you. Virginia, Virginia, we know you, we feel you. Julio, doggone it, that's your spot right over there, man. We got Mike O'Brien. Hello, Mike. Happy Father's Day, my friend. Colleen, all the way from Illinois. We got Addie and Avery and Kylie. Those are grandchildren. Yeah, Addie, Avery, Kylie. That's great. 3 out of the 7 grandchildren that could be watching from that side of the town. And they say, hi, Grandma and Grandpa. And we have Daniel watching too. And we appreciate you being here, Daniel. We also have Charles Couture. He's all the way from Michigan. Yep. And we have Charlene. Charlene. By the way, I read your Facebook post today. Thank you very much for that. Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. Anyway, I'm going to take this and I'm going to put it in here right with my gift. I'm going to put mine against Jackie's and mine on our hearts because that's what I'd like you guys to do too. Put your gift on your heart and know that what this gift does is help to to push out a consciousness of love and peace and joy to the entire world. We start right here. We do this for the benefit of Unity of Pasadena, but Unity of Pasadena is not the end goal. The end goal is to bring about a change, a magnificent vision that we have, that the world can be peaceful, that the world can be joyful, that the world can be happy and whole and contented. And so we hold our gift to our heart and we say together that God is the source of my overflowing supply, and I am grateful. And so it is. Thank you. Thank you, Norma.
I'd like to sing a song for you right now, written by the rock poetess Patti Smith, called People Have the Power. And yes, indeed, she does believe that we have the power to do anything. I was dreaming, in my dreaming, of an aspect bright and fair, and my sleeping, it was broken, but my dream, it lingered near, in the form of shining valleys, where the pure air's rarefied, and my senses newly open, I awakened to the cry that the people have the power to redeem the work of fools. Upon the meek, the graces shower. It's decreed the people rule. People have the power. People have the power. People have the power. People have the power. Vengeful aspects become suspect and bending low as if to hear. And the armies ceased advancing because the people had their ear. And the shepherds and the soldiers, well, they lay beneath the stars, exchanging visions and laying arms down to waste in the dust, in the form of shining valleys where the pure air's rarefied, and my senses newly opened, I awaken to the cry. People have the power. People have the power. People have the power. People have the power. The power to dream. The power to rule. Wrestle the world from the fools. The power to dream. The power to love. The power to rise up above. People have the power. People have the power. People have the power. People have the power. We people have the power. People have the power. People have the power. People have the power. People have the power.
Ooh, we got the power. Thank you, Norma. Oh, do we ever have the power? We have the power to bring about change. We have the power to bring about meaningful change. We have a choice to do that. And that meaningful change can come about through following our own values, stepping into them with that beautiful life source flowing through us. So I'm going to say a little prayer over these tithes and treasures, because we promise to use these tithes and treasures with integrity. That is for the benefit of not only Unity of Pasadena, but the surrounding community. not just the surrounding community, but all those who are within wave shot, earshot of what it is that we do, of what it is that we feel, of what it is that we bring about for the betterment of this earth, for the betterment of all people, all people. So it's with great thanksgiving that this is so. We are who we say we are. And join me by saying, and so it is. Amen. Thank you, Norma. Come on, Barbara.
Well, thank you, little brother. I don't know, the mid-60s, so weren't you only 10? Okay. Okay, that was the answer. All right. So is everybody ready to abandon your illusion of powerlessness after today's service? I hope so. And it happens through transformation, which is the theme of both our vision and our mission statements. So can we affirm together our vision? Envisioning a world powerfully transformed through the growing movement of shared spiritual awakening. And our mission is transforming lives by living and sharing our inner truth of divine wisdom, compassion, and love, using practical spiritual principles, which leads to our core values, which are creating community, living love, teaching truth, and serving spirit. And today at our hospitality time, this is the third week, so our newly reconstructed teams of weeks 1, 2, 3, and 4 is offering our hospitality today. But also Larry Evans, who sometimes fills in here as our pianist, we celebrated birthdays last week, but instead he chose, and I would have too, to go to Castle Green. And so we miss singing happy birthday to him. Shall we do that?
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Larry. Happy birthday to you.
Okay, you didn't escape. All you missed was the cake. Yes, Larry? Oh, okay. Okay. The Gentle Stretch class with Michelle meets as usual this Tuesday. And the Meditation and Centering Prayer group meets with Helen and her group regularly, again, Thursday, 5:45. The writing group, which meets here from 10 to 11 on Saturdays, however, will be meeting at one of the members' houses, at Sandra's house, that they decided because the memorial for Marty Arnold is also next Saturday, and so they'll be still finishing their setup and so forth. So a writing group at Sandra's, and then come on over to the memorial. Okay, now the memorial for Marty starts, the service begins here at 1 p.m. Now for all of you who signed up to RSVP, Jackie's let them know who was coming. So there's, there were 26 names on the list. I highly recommend, if you can, carpool or come early to ensure, convenient parking. There is parking on the street on Saturdays, but, the parking lot only holds 30 cars. So that's my recommendation. And then after the actual memorial service, then there's going to be a reception in the hall. So that's why it said on the sign-up sheet it's from 1 to 4. All right, and then the next day, which will be Sunday the 28th, we have Basha and Pinocchio back with the sound baths. And Jackie has a sign-up sheet which she'll be passing around during hospitality time for the half-hour sessions, okay? And anything to add, Jackie? That's it? Okay, thank you. Okay, and if you've never done it before, I mean, it's hard to put into words. You just go to another place. You know, if you believe in heaven on earth, well, that might be it. And just give yourself another half an hour before you get in your car and drive, because you will not be of, you know, the right energy level to be handling driving. Okay, and then on the next Sunday is going to be really busy, because while sound baths are happening in Reverend Greg's newly finished office, then Kara Cornford will be having her next Grace, that is Goddesses Revealing All Creative Energy presentation in Fellowship Hall. And the featured goddess for next Sunday is the Hindu goddess Durga, and looking at overcoming negative thinking with her. And then lastly, our architects of the Zodiac series with Gay will be taking a 2-week vacation because of Marty's memorial, and then also the following weekend happens to be the 4th of July weekend. But they'll start back up on Saturday the 11th and continue on continue for another 10 weeks. Okay, and so that's all I have, so I'm going to turn it back over to Reverend Greg.
All right, so we're going to do silent unity prayer for protection, and then we are going to sing a song. What are we going to sing today?
Let there be peace on earth.
Is that the one by Earth, Wind, and Fire? There we go. All right, so would everybody please stand while we do the silent unity prayer for protection? It's up on the screen. By the way, if you want prayer, we have prayer chaplains. You guys, raise your hand if you're a prayer chaplain. All right, Bill and Cliff. We got plenty, and Paul in the back here. We got plenty of prayer chaplains. Stay in your seat after the service, and a prayer chaplain will come to you if you'd like prayer. Okay. All right. So let's do the silent unity prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. I am light. The love of God enfolds us. I am love. The power of God protects us. I am power. The presence of God watches over us. I am presence. Wherever I am, God is. I am divine, and all is well.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let there begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be thy joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with
serious? Yes. I was friends. Really good friends.